welcome to the show. And you're watching Behind the Internet. I'm Aaron. I'm one of the hosts today, and I work for Whisper Internet, and I am the outside sales rep. And I'm here with Jesse. Go for it.
That's right. I'm Jesse, and I also work for Whisper Internet in the Washington, Missouri office. I do field services and towers. And yeah, very happy everybody's joining us again today. We don't even number these. We've done these so many times, we don't even number them
Yeah.
anymore. Uh, yeah, looks like today we're going to be talking about uh, all the different apps you can use, like on a phone or even on a computer. Um, well, before we get into that, usually I talk to my friend Aaron here on this show, but I got to see him last week, so that was pretty nice in
Yeah.
person.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, if we thought about it, we should just went ahead and done the show then because there would have been like two of us actually in person doing the show. But yeah, we had our own little thing going.
Yeah,
So
we can't
yeah,
do that
it was,
now.
it was a good time. So
Yeah, had other
uh,
things going on, but yeah.
yeah, obviously Whispers growing all the time, and so we're like two different ends of the state just about. So it was kind of neat when we all are in the same place at the same time. So, but so yeah, we're going to be talking about apps for your phone, tablet, mainly primarily your phone. And if you're watching today, go in there and tell us what your favorite apps are that you commonly use. Obviously, we all use Facebook and Instagram, but if there's anything else out there, let us know.
Yeah,
Um,
let us know about your go-to apps. We're going to be talking about a ton of them today, kind of like a rapid
mhm.
fire list of things, ones that are trending and just ones that people have been using recently and ones that people have been using for years and years and years. So,
Oh yeah.
but yeah, so if you have any special apps you have in there, and also just let us know that you're there and say hi and let us know where you're from too. If you're watching live and if you're watching this later on. So I don't know, Aaron,
Yeah.
should we just go ahead and dive right on into it?
Let's go. I tell you what, just started off. What is your favorite apps, Jesse?
Well, I think we can use our phone here. The one I probably go to most, especially for work when I'm driving around, is Google Maps. I mean, I use
Yeah.
Google Maps constantly. Skype obviously because we use that for work communication. I've always used it for family communication too, so that's one that I use constantly. Another one for work, I use a lightning app because when we're working on towers,
Oh
we need to
yeah.
know when there's lightning happening within 30 to 40-mile radius. So we constantly those kind of apps, along with your music apps and work apps. I mean, there's tons of apps.
Oh
So
yeah.
which ones do you use?
So I'm kind of like you. I mean, obviously, if I was to look on my home screen, I mean, the Skype is there. Obviously, my email's there. All of my productive ones is like right there because I try to be more like keep my productive ones like
Mhm.
right there on the home screen. So those are the first ones I see. But in another good one that I really have enjoyed using here lately is an app called Any Do, and it's really kind of neat because it syncs all my lists together from my iPhone list and from my Trello list, and the same thing with my calendar, and it puts it all in one central location. So no matter where I put my list, except for my Alexa list, that's on. I was thinking there. I think I can make it. I just haven't had that time yet to do it. But
Right.
yeah,
No,
and
I
then
could totally see that being useful. What else you got?
oh yeah, so yeah, and as far as I like Waze for my GPS. It's kind of one of those neat apps where you can kind of communicate as well as you're going down the highway, and I like it too because you get a lot of instant feedback if there's a road blockage or something like that in the roadway. You kind of almost it kind of keeps you in tune to the road because then you're just watching for that item in the road or the car alongside the road or even like road construction, where all the road construction's at.
Yeah, I've
Those
heard
are,
people using that one too, and I've thought about switching from time to time just to check it out because I've heard a lot of good things about it. Now, when it
oh
comes
yeah.
to apps on your phone, you've got different pages that you can put these on, and you've got different folders and groups. Are you super organized about how you keep your apps on your phone?
So that is a really good question. It drives me nuts to be like, I know I have that app on my phone somewhere, And I'm like, okay, I'm at the end. Okay, let's go back. And finally, I find it. And no, at one time, I was all like super organized, had them all in folders. And now it's like, man, I just know, okay, I just downloaded that one not so long ago. It's probably at the end of my list.
On like
And
page 8 down there.
oh,
Yeah.
more like page 12, you
Yeah.
know. So, yeah, that's a good question. No, I am not organized on that,
What
but
about, yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
my most used is always on that first screen.
Right.
So, yes.
So you can hit it.
Yeah.
What
What
about,
about you?
well,
Go
I
ahead.
mean, I try not to get too many apps. Just I'm organized because I don't have a lot of apps on my phone. Not a
Yeah.
ton, not a ton of ones that I won't use. But I'm curious, and it's not that organized. But I'm curious about notifications. Are you a big notifications person? Like
Uh,
if you see someone's phone and they've got a mail app that's got about 2,400 notifications, does that make you cringe, or are you one of those people?
so yes and no. Now I've gotten to the point like, okay, my other email addresses, I have like 10 of them, it seems like. I'm almost to the point I keep them off my phone now. If I want to check those, I'll go check them on my computer anymore because yeah, I want to know what's most important on my phone.
Yeah.
And so it's like I guarantee you right now, if you looked at my email notifications, I probably have over 800 emails right there. And then and my text messages are getting to that point as well because it's like
Whoa.
I think right now I probably have like six text messages. Something I
Right.
don't like
Just
people.
sitting there.
It's
Right.
just
Right.
oh yeah.
Like six
So
messages that you haven't got to yet.
yeah,
That's when you know you're busy, when you've got about 20 text message notifications.
yeah.
So let's start getting into some of these trending ones, and then maybe some of the essentials. But one that we mentioned earlier was called House Party. I think that got real popular after
Yeah,
the things that have been going on recently. Is that correct?
that's correct. House Party actually was introduced to me by my girlfriend and her daughters, and it was actually one of their birthdays. That obviously trying to get everybody together. We did like the Zoom thing. Obviously, that ended after 45 minutes, and then somebody mentioned like, "Hey, let's do House Party." I had to
Right.
download it, stuck it on there. That was pretty cool. It was kind of like being, even though you're not, being at home and you're able to see everybody just like we are right now. And you're playing like a card game to go with it.
Right.
And so that was really cool. I mean, a lot of their families from Texas and Arkansas, and then here I am in Missouri, and so it was kind of neat to be able to do that. And actually, it's kind of like the conversations don't get too dry after a while because you're playing cards, you're laughing at each other just like you would at somebody's house. So
Right.
good,
No,
yeah, it's good
we've
times.
done that too. Not with House Party, but with Zoom, where my brother would invite us all, and then he'd screen share like Jackbox games on PlayStation. I don't know if you've ever heard that or played those, where the whole
Yeah,
family and you can get on your phone and play together. So we've done that a few times, and that's been pretty cool. And of course, Skype and those kind of things like that.
right.
Um, let's see, anything else on that essential list that jumps out at you? It looks like YouTube. I mean, I use the YouTube app. I said the Google Maps. I changed my mind. I probably use
Oh,
the YouTube app the most, just to
yeah,
watch, watching videos. You can watch shows on it, music tutorials, just anything. YouTube.
yeah.
Fixing
Oh,
your
yeah.
car, baking a cake. I changed my mind. YouTube's probably my number one app that
Right.
I've got to, right.
Man, I almost guessed TikTok was your favorite app. Just something about you and
Right.
TikTok. I could see you being a TikTok person for sure. You should think about that.
Well, I
So.
do think about it because my kids talk about it all the time. I'll show them
Oh
a
yes,
video
yeah.
and they're like, "Is that on TikTok?" I'm like, "I don't know. No, it's not."
uh,
Yeah. But anyways, while we're talking,
yeah.
if anybody ever has a question, go ahead and ask one. I think we might actually do have one.
Oh, and hey, somebody that knows me apparently, do I use any apps for search and rescue? So actually, yes. Actually, we use an app called Zello, and Zello is really cool. That it basically turns your phone into a walkie-talkie, so that everybody can communicate. So obviously back home, I'm on four state search and rescue team. So a little plug out there to them. And I actually have a canine dog. And obviously we all have to communicate in some way or another. And a lot of times that Zillow app, it works great for us all to come together in one place and find out where everybody's meeting. And then usually we switch over to the cool walkie talkies from there. But yeah, that's a really good one. And then obviously with that, Google Maps comes into a lot of play too, just because we're zooming in on areas and kind of guessing, okay, kind of predicting where the best possible outcome on something that we need. So that was a good question.
Yeah, because I would have had no idea about that. So I wrote
Yeah.
down Zello so I can start looking that up. So.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So
Yeah, that's
keep
great.
those questions coming.
Yeah,
keep them going. So,
all right, let's see what we got on our list here. We got Messenger, GroupMe. I use GroupMe. I've got a group of my fantasy football and baseball buddies are all on a GroupMe list that we chat and throw pictures and things like that. So that's another good messenger type of app to use. See, I'm trying to pick out just any more ones that jump out on these essentials. Marco Polo, what's that like about?
Actually, I was just getting ready to ask you a question on that one because I tell you what, somebody chime in there and tell us about Marco Polo because I'm not familiar with that one. So definitely chime in. Now, What's Up app? I've used that a couple of times. I don't currently have it on my phone. It is kind of a new messenger-based app out there as well, and I guess where it's been used with me is file sharing. I knew an IT guy that he actually used that quite a bit. That was probably over a year ago, at least. We were using that. So,
if anybody knows what Marco Polo is out there, go ahead and let us
know. Speed us up. We could, there's something we're missing there.
Because as you can tell, we're not app experts, that's for sure.
Yeah, so exactly.
Anyways, but I would like to get into the meat and potatoes of this right in the middle of the show. I think we should talk about dating apps.
Oh yeah,
I'm excited about these things because I have never used one. I've never used dating websites back in the day. It's not because I'm too cool. I mean, it kind of sounds awesome. It kind of sounds maybe easy too. I don't know. You're gonna have to tell me.
Yeah.
So, anyways, there's a couple of them that jump out on the paper. I'm gonna have you read a couple.
Yeah, sure. So the top ones coming up are actually Tinder, Bumble, and Ship. Never heard of Ship. Never heard of that one. Bumble, I've only heard of it because I had some friends that were talking about it. So Tinder, yes, confession. Way back when, I guess I've used Tinder. Actually, this whole day and age of dating is, and I guess from what I understand too, real quick on Bumble, I guess the woman chooses to talk to who she wants to talk to, not the other way around.
Puts the power in the woman's hands strictly.
Yes, exactly.
Right, good.
So I get that. That's cool. And but Tinder, it's been around for a while. Yes, actually, this was kind of a fun conversation with my girlfriend. We've been together almost 3 years. And so what's funny about it is actually we met on Tinder. And I never was a really big Tinder person. I guess when I was doing that dating thing, I just kind of had a rule with myself that if I can't talk to a person and ask them out in real life, it's probably not worth it. But so that was kind of a personal rule, and I broke it, and I've been with the girl now for 3 years. So cool story there.
That is cool. You have these preconceptions, and then you finally went after it, and then it worked out. So that's what I like to hear. So
yeah.
And I'm a little bit older. I might not look it. I'm a little older, and the dating apps just maybe a little bit past my time a little bit. Anyway.
And real quick, what I understand about Ship is it's a free dating app, which I think Tinder and Bumble is assume, that lets your friends set you up. So that could be
dangerous.
Yeah, I really like my friends, but that would be interesting, I'm afraid. So, but users can invite their friends and as well as their parents and sibling, and
Mhm.
especially basically they put together like roommates in there. So I guess it's kind of like you join a crew, from what I understand. And so maybe that's a good thing because
Mhm.
it's not just your opinion sometimes, which you get a few other little opinions like somebody sees a red flag. Everybody knows when they've been dating, like red flag. Oh, I
Interesting.
got that emergency to go to. Yeah,
Yeah,
understandable.
no, no, that makes
Yes.
sense. Yeah, I do know a lot of friends that have used dating apps and have been very successful with them. So, and it
Yeah.
makes for good stories sometimes too.
Oh yeah. The stories can be pretty interesting. I'm sure there's probably several topics of stories. I'm sure on just dating apps. So
If anybody has a good story, go ahead and let us have it. Let it.
that could be a whole nother show.
Let us have it. Well, moving on, maybe if you are successful in finding a date and you decide to
Oh,
go out somewhere, then maybe you can use a food type app.
oh
Um,
yeah.
now,
Well, especially right now, restaurants could be closed, and
right?
hey, a food app like Yumly could give you a recipe to, go from there. So,
That's probably something that I need in my house because we're not the most in tune in the kitchen, I believe. So probably a nice food app or two would do us really well. But
yes.
Uh, I'm trying to think of what other food. I bet we can probably fit in some of the Uber Eats and some of that kind of stuff too in there. I mean,
Yeah.
and also food apps. I mean, would that be like a Sonic app or a Jimmy John's app and that kind of stuff too?
Oh and see, I still haven't put the Sonic app on my phone
I
yet.
think we
And every
talked
time I
about
go to
that last time.
Sonic, yeah, we talked about it last show, and didn't even think about. I still every time I go to Sonic, I'm like, man, I forgot to put that app on my phone. But Grubhub is actually a really cool one as well. And Grubhub, obviously, kind of like Uber Eats, you got certain places, that honor them, and basically you have a delivery person. Well, yeah, a delivery person that comes by, picks them up, and takes it to wherever your location is. So, and I haven't personally used one yet, but maybe something I check into. And I know there's a guy I work with down in Joplin. He uses it quite a bit, and because our dropping office is outside of town a little bit, so he
Hmm.
uses it to bring him food. So that way, he's kind of a workaholic like most all of us, and he's usually sitting there plugging away. So he has it delivered. Goes back
Well,
to his troubleshooting. So yeah. So
no, that makes a lot of sense. Now, so after you've used the dating app to meet the person, and then you use the food app to find out what you're going to eat, then you can go back to his or her house and maybe play some games. So there's a lot of gaming apps you can jump
oh
onto.
yeah,
Now
yes.
I'm talking like gaming apps that maybe my son would use or maybe I would use. There's things out there like Twitch where you can watch people play video games. My wife is always she can't figure that out. Like, why would you watch somebody play a game? Well, it's probably one of the most popular things to happen in entertainment. The
Yeah.
the gaming industry is absolutely booming, and you can use YouTube, you can use Twitch, uh, you can use PlayStation apps to meet up with people and to communicate. There's an app that people use called Discord where you can make I don't know. There's a game called World of Warcraft, and you can have a
Yeah.
whole World of Warcraft Discord that you can join, or even Grand Theft Auto if you're into that, or
Yeah.
Call of Duty. Just you can name a game, and there's probably a Discord group for that, and you can chat, you can do voice chat, you can do video stuff with that as well. So
Yeah.
a lot of different gaming apps out there.
Oh yeah, definitely. And people interacting right now on stuff like that is pretty awesome. So,
Mm.
but kind of. kind of back on that, if you need to get away, so we've had the dating app, we've had the food app, and now playing games, and now we got the travel apps, so you can get away.
Oh, things are going
Uh,
really good at this point.
oh,
And you
good point.
and
Yes,
you may have
yes.
dated for maybe a month. Hopefully, you've dated at least a month before you get into the travel apps, possibly.
Right, right. So you can get on travel advisory, and and at least check out the next place to go for sure.
Yeah.
And you could places not to go with your date or places to go with your date. I'm not sure if that's category on travel advisor, but you never know.
I'm guessing travel advisor would be maybe picking resorts out of the country. I don't travel too
Yes,
much, so or maybe travel to places in country and just
I
resorts
I
and
think some of the big ones too out there is like the B&Bs.
okay.
You got there's several different categories on that. I'm trying to think B&B, and then there's actually another one. If somebody chimes in and helps
When
me
you say
out.
B&B, are you talking about bread and breakfast?
Yes,
Okay,
yes. So
gotcha.
you can actually, and I've known people on the flip side of this have an actual vacation home and that they register it
Hmm.
and like a cabin, and you actually go on there and like, hey, I'm going to be in X amount of area for so long, and then you find this cool cabin out there, and it's just kind of like gives you a nice getaway that's away from the average hotel, and so those are really cool. I know a lot of people that are almost choosing to do that rather than staying in a hotel because a lot of times you get a whole house to yourself, a living room, a bed, a kitchen, the whole 9 yards, for sometimes the price of a hotel.
Right.
So that's
And
always kind of a cool one.
and you can find these on like a TripAdvisor type app. I also see like StubHub, getting tickets to
Yep.
concerts and games. You can get that app on your phone and it'll probably give you notifications about bands and sporting events that's going on in your area. Probably not as much at this time, but
Yeah.
hopefully that'll kick back up again and
Oh yeah.
that'll be
Yeah, it will. Yeah, exactly.
right on.
So and I'll let you talk about health apps, and
All right.
I think I'm diving into your area a little bit here.
Yeah, because I am the people go to me for health, right? Because I'm
Yeah,
just
that's
Mr.
right.
Health and whatever. No, that's not true. Honestly, I've never heard of any of these. I mean, Gym Book. Uh,
Gym Book's cool. I believe it keeps a record of every time you go to the gym, and you can use it to keep stats. Especially if you're lifting, benching, any of that, and it kind of keeps a record.
I can see
Some
how
of
that'd
my
be useful, right?
Yeah, some of my personal favorites is, well, when I was running a lot, it was the Garmin app. I had a Garmin GPS watch, the Garmin app, and you can kind of compare back and forth.
And these would be the
There's one.
things that would keep track of your steps and probably heart rate and all that kind of stuff.
Right. And then there's Fitness Pal,
Mhm.
that it actually has an app on there to help you eat right. You can set in how many calories per day you want to eat, what your workout is. It keeps track of all that.
Mhm.
And if you eat something, you can actually scan it and it'll actually log it for you as far as the calories and everything in that ingredient. There's actually a lot registered, even when you go to different restaurants.
Huh.
And so that's really kind of cool. Um, Another one that's out there that's just kind of a recent thing, obviously, is, let's just say current events right now. There's an
Right.
app right now that you can go on there, take a self assessment test to see how you're feeling. And it actually uses your Bluetooth on your phone, that if you go to an area and it actually kind of monitors to see if you have been in an at risk environment,
Right.
and it kind of gives you a notification and lets you know. So
Like let you know
those,
where maybe some of the hotter areas, I guess, if that's for lack of a better
right?
words, right?
Yeah, and I think it's to get down to see if you've possibly been exposed. So like right now with me traveling so much, I've been kind of curious on it, just because it's just kind of a nice thing to know as well. So
Right. Well, let's jump in. I mean, we've got a lot of categories left, and I don't know how we're
oh
doing on time, but we're gonna keep going. But I really want to touch this one because I talked about YouTube earlier. I use YouTube for a lot of things, and I use YouTube for entertainment. But there are specific music apps that we use. Lots of music apps, and I've been trying a couple of them out recently. One being Spotify. Spotify's been around forever. Uh,
It's my favorite.
that's Spotify's been around forever. I've used Shazam. That's probably one of the
Oh,
very first apps that I've ever got on my phone years and years ago. Just when you're in the car listening to the radio, instead of calling the radio station, because radio stations love when you call in and are like, "Yeah, yesterday around between 3 and 4 in the morning, there's a song." Yeah, they hate that. So
yeah,
anyway,
yeah,
so if you got a song going on, you just hit Shazam, listen, and bam, it'll pop around on your phone, and
yeah.
it'll keep a record of those. And sometimes I'll do that too, and I'll hear a song like, oh, I want to learn that on guitar or something like that, so I can refer back to it, so that I don't forget. So Shazam's an awesome app
Yep.
that'll tell you songs that you don't know or that you can't remember the artist or the name to. So we got Spotify. I've used YouTube Music. Um,
Yep.
what's another free one out there? Pandora. I've used Pandora
Oh,
in the
yeah.
past.
That's been around
You can't
a long
really,
time.
yeah, you can't really pick and choose what songs you want. You probably can if you pay a premium fee. On all these, you can pay premium fees and pick random songs, but the free versions of them will just play a genre. So
Right, right. And and whatever you do, don't just don't go into a local trivia night and wear your iWatch too, and using can't even say the word. Um, Help me out.
no, no, no.
uh,
I think I know what you're talking about. So
yeah,
I would sit at the local bar here,
Shazam.
and
Yeah,
they would do trivia nights, and you're supposed to not bring your phone because everybody's like, oh,
right.
and then pop that in there. But yeah, you can totally use the Shazam to try to listen to a song and
Yeah,
name it. So yep, you got it.
yeah,
You can do
exactly.
a lot of cheating with these apps.
Yeah, don't be that guy. So, yeah. So and actually, tune in radio. That's a neat one too. It's kind of neat because different radio stations now they've all gone kind of to a digital format, and so now you can literally like, hey, I'm in this area code, and you can go to, hey, I want to listen to my radio station back home, my favorite all time of the century radio station, and listen away on your phone. So,
So you don't need to be in the area. You just need to have their call sign or their link or whatever, and you can
yep,
always get that radio station that you love from home. I love that. But yeah,
yes,
so I've used Spotify, I used YouTube Music, and the paid version of these are all about the same. I mean, one's never gonna be that much more expensive than the other, but um,
hmm,
they always have free trials. I'm always getting hit up with free trials on YouTube Music and stuff like that. And what's nice about the paid versions of them, uh, when you're listening to the music on your phone and driving around, a lot of times YouTube, you have to have the app open in order to listen. And then if you need to check your mapping app, you got to close out of it, music goes away, and then you can check the
right,
map. If paid versions, you can listen to music in the background a lot too. So
yep,
that's pretty nice to have.
yes. And then a lot of times just keeping up with current events. Obviously, there's so many news apps, and it seems like each one has their own little own news app. Fox, CNN,
Mhm.
some other good ones as well is Vice, New York Times, Pocket Cast, Cairo,
Was
which
that
is
Curio here? Great
oh,
journalism.
Curio. Yeah, I
Yeah,
said Cairo. My bad. So that's kind of neat. And then you can also several of them you can kind of dial in on different categories. Like one of my big ones was always like into tech. I wanted to know what the new technology was out there.
right.
So that's always pretty cool. So
Gotcha.
um,
Yeah, I'd love to jump into news apps, but I don't use them. Don't have much to say about it, and I don't watch the news much either. Don't have a lot of time for it, but I
yeah.
do use the money apps.
Oh
Show me
man.
the money, right? Easy way to pay. I
Yes.
love easy ways to pay for things. I've used PayPal forever. That's a great
Yep.
app on the phone when you're, purchasing subscriptions, when you're just paying another person money. All you have to have is their email address, and they have to have an account. It makes it
Yep.
so easy. It makes it so easy to move money around. You can do bank transfers and stuff like that. I know Venmo is a popular money app out there. My brother
Yeah.
uses it. I use it sometimes just because, but I use PayPal mostly.
Yep. And I've used Cash App several times. Actually, I think one of my new ones I really like is Venmo.
Hmm.
And because anymore, we're in that time where not many people really carry too much cash anymore. So most everything is on their card. And Venmo, obviously, um, other apps when you transfer and pay somebody, usually you have a fee when you want to put in your own account. Venmo is kind of a cool one too because you can register and get a card. And actually, the card's pretty neat because the card itself, you just kind of, it's one of those you just tap on the register and it automatically pays for you. So, and that's pretty cool. I really like it, and it's really super easy, fast to pay someone, and vice versa. And
And so you're
usually
saying you
they're
can use that right at the store, which is nice right now because
yes,
there's a lot of the social distancing and
yeah.
not wanting to, hand money or grab money and all that. So that kind of keeps everything,
Yep.
close to you. So right.
Yeah, and I like it. And of course, I use my iPhone for the wallet, and that's actually a lot of my thinking too. Is sometimes getting asked the 50 questions, I don't want to touch the buttons that many times, and so like
Yeah.
I can use that. And if anything, use my car key to hit the green button and walk out.
That's a
So
good point. I still use my fingers because I don't know, but I do try to stick with one finger, use the pinky,
yeah.
and then just kind of rub the back of your shirt, right, and then get some Santa
Oh
anyways.
yeah, it's perfectly clean after that, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's Christina's looking at us like, okay, this is a new show topic now.
Well, you guys are making fun. All right, moving on. We got to rapid fire through these because
Oh man,
we're gonna be going on 2 hours if whatever. So we
oh we
got the
got
money
time.
apps. If we all right, that's fine.
No.
Photography apps. Let's get into it.
Oh man,
I know this is a special place in your heart.
yeah.
I
I've never used a single photography app, so
right,
never ever.
right.
So yeah, so photography apps. There's so many out there. Some of the popular ones I know of off the top of my head is Snapseed. That was one that's kind of one that you can go through and look at. I use a lot of them. Of course, I mean, I'll use Lightroom. That's an app. Obviously, I'm more into Photoshop and Adobe products. But I know there's some Spectrum camera, Facetune. I've heard about this. That a lot of times people will use it. Jesse uses this one a lot, where he has to clean up his face a lot. See, and because especially he's out there in the sun, got the multicolors going on, so he really has to
I'm a
do a
big
little face
oh,
in
I'm a
there.
big filter guy. Big filter guy.
Yeah, yeah, yes, exactly. He likes the little stars. So, man, we're horrible today. So,
Anyways,
moving.
let's rapid fire. So we got some reading apps, we got shopping apps like Amazon, eBay. Most people have used Amazon. I think I've used eBay in the past. Those are pretty good apps. Social
Yeah,
media. I use Twitter a lot. I use Twitter all the time. That's one of my big ones. I know Instagram is huge, especially with the younger generation. I'm starting to get in there a little
yeah.
bit too.
Oh, yeah.
Facebook apps with that. We talked about TikTok. Or did we talk about TikTok earlier?
Oh, we
Yes.
mentioned it a little bit. That was
No,
your
we did.
favorite one.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was my favorite one, right?
yeah.
TikTok's
That was
very
your
good.
favorite one.
Snapchat.
Yeah.
I actually use Snapchat all the time. I really do. I use it
Right.
all the time. I take the real short videos. Hi, what's going on? Bam, bam, and then I send it off to a bunch of people. I use Snapchat constantly. I love it.
Yep.
Uh,
Yep.
Pinterest, of course, real popular.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
now let's go back into some of the reading apps. Do you do much with the reading apps?
Actually, I use Audible a lot.
Oh,
That's
very
probably
good.
my closest one is because obviously in the car, like today, I drove, 5 hours today. And I mean, 5 hours behind the wheel, a lot of times it kind of puts you in another environment instead of hearing the same old song. So put a
Yeah,
little Grant car down and just like fire away,
yeah.
and Yeah, I really like the Audible app. It's great for multiple books, and yeah, I'm kind of one of those. Is like, yeah, always trying to do something a little bit better. So that's kind of my
Right.
that's my little bit better to myself app.
And when I'm done with, and I'm like, music, I listen to a lot of music, but when I need something different, I do a lot of podcasts. But I have
Yeah.
considered maybe doing some of the Audible books, just because, just like yourself, I drive all the time. I'm always
Yep.
in the vehicle, so I think, the tons of books out there, obviously, and
Yep.
that you can benefit from. What else we got? Sports apps, NFL, ESPN. I've used not so much anymore. The
Yeah.
Score, uh, GPS apps, obviously, going through with we talked about that earlier with the Google Maps
Right.
and all that kind of stuff. So, anyways, like you said, we could have probably done a
Oh yeah.
three-month on apps, especially the dating ones, because those interest me the most.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You guys just want to hear stories. I see how this is
I
going.
want to hear the stories, absolutely. But
So
yeah, if anybody out there, we went through a ton of apps. If there's one that you use all the time that we didn't go through, please let us know. Let
yeah.
us know, let us know what it is and what you use it for. I'm always interested in finding a new thing and to help me out. Um, and no, we really appreciate everybody joining us
Oh
again.
yeah.
I know sometimes we can't get to the shows right away on a schedule, but we will get them in. Uh, and yeah, Keith, thank you very much too. We
Yeah.
appreciate you listening in and giving us the thumbs up on some of those apps that we were talking about.
Yeah.
Some of these shows coming up. Christina, who's behind the glass, she does a really good job. She's got some really good shows coming up in the next couple months. So we're going to be doing some interviews
Yep.
and things like that. And with streaming, we'll do some more streaming stuff. So we got some good things coming up here in the future. Real excited about.
Oh yeah. Definitely stay tuned with us. I mean, we're pretty excited about these next interviews that we have. Great topics as well, and we're more than excited. As you can see, man, we start firing off some of this stuff, and man, we just yeah.
And,
We have a good time, and I hope you have a good time watching us too, for sure. So,
all right.
yeah.
Well, we appreciate it. I hope everybody has a great rest of your week, and we will see you guys next time.
All right. See you guys later.